You see the little shit going. That's a video.
What's up, fight fans? This is Wildervol with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Deontay Wilder officially makes the list. In fact, he bumps Andy Ruiz from being the number one on the redemption list because of his recent loss. Okay, now the redemption list means a fighter that either lost inside or outside the ring, because there are people on this list that has never been beaten, like Jarrell Miller. You know, Dillian White hasn't been beaten for a while, but he's still on the list nonetheless. But normally you get on the list for losing a fight, falling from grace, being upset, things like that. Deontay Wilder has done all the above. Okay. Not only did he lose the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world, he lost to a guy that he called a pillow puncher. He lost to a guy that is not known for punching. He was knocked out, stopped by a guy that is not known for punching, which is Tyson Fury. Okay, and Deontay Wilder has he gets a lot of stick now because of the way he took the loss. That's what put him at number one. He would have normally just been added behind Gennady Golovkin. But no, Deontay Wilder bumps Andy Ruiz. Ruiz becomes the number two because of this, because of the excuse that he used. Okay, how do you think Andy Ruiz got there and got on the very top? Okay, oh, I ate everything in sight. I didn't train like I was supposed to. This, that, and the other. That's how he got there. Deontay Wilder, he's there. Yeah, he took a loss. But his excuse was a fucking costume, people. I can't make this up. It was a costume that he used as reasoning for his loss. Not the better man won. Not that Tyson Fury changed his game plan and attacked me different. No, none of that. You know, no respect given, none of that given. Oh, he didn't hurt me at all. I was not hurt. By the costume I wore it for too long and it was too heavy. Now, many people have came out and debunked and criticized his excuse for losing to Tyson Fury. Okay? But, I think you should get better. It's a lot of controversy that's been formed around Deontay Wilder at this point. But he should have enough integrity, and I think that's one of the things what you should learn with being a champion is learning how to take a loss. Okay, he does have a rematch clause. He can get himself off the list because that's the next fight supposedly. You know, because it's like Frank Warren said, nothing's really set in stone until we sit down and in the contract. No, that's what Shelly Finkel said. That nothing's for certain yet. So he may be that number one on that list. And then for another reason, he refused to train properly. He got away with a lot of things. He had a lot of people that really didn't even have his best interest, obviously, except for Mark Breland that saved him for a much more severe ass beating of the one that he was taking. Okay? So that was the only one that showed him mercy, that had sense enough to say, you know what, this is enough. Wilder has nothing to offer. He hasn't been trained to have nothing else to offer. You know, we can see how his training was. We can see why he was the way he was. Now all these steps, these interviews, these puzzle pieces that we're putting together, all made a picture that night, February 22nd, where Deontay Wilder in the third round, he was knocked down. He had nothing left. It's one thing to be disembobulated from a punch to the ear or whatever, but it's another thing to not have nothing, to have your hands on the ropes, to be grabbing and falling around on the floor, and you claimed it was because of a costume. No, it was because you gained weight, for one, because you didn't train, and you didn't train like you're supposed to. I honestly think they didn't participate Tyson Fury doing that. They thought that, hey, Tyson Fury won't press the issue. He won't go for the kill. He won't go for the KO. He's just talking trash. That's what they were thinking. So I have all night to knock this guy out. That's what Deontay Wilder and his team obviously thought, because that's how they've been thinking the last 42, 43 fights. The same way. Land the right hand, Deontay, let's go home. But that didn't happen. In fact, he landed that right hand early. And he found out right then, I needed much more than this God-given talent that I was blessed with. You need to be blessed with the work rate. Be blessed with the commitment of getting your ass in the gym and to train like a real athlete, like a real boxer. Not just throwing a right hand, not just working pad work. No, you have to go and do some back to the basics. Remember that? He didn't go back to the basics with a Tyson Fury rematch, did he? No. He got toppled. He got destroyed. He got overpowered. Okay? He showed heart, but he showed no skill or no real way to show that he really wanted to fight. He can't fight. He showed us he couldn't fight. When Tyson Fury had him in that corner, yes, he threw a left hook before that fight, that towel was thrown in, or while that towel was being thrown in. He did throw a left hook to his credit. However, it wasn't enough of him. Tyson Fury was hitting this guy, beating him from pillow to post, literally. He had him all over that ring, beating him up, laying on him, making him more tired. And that's another factor that he didn't even, you know what I mean? Because, see, here's the problem. With Wilder, he's going to have to understand that if he wants a new result, he has to get a new team. You know, or he needs to start listening to the team, or his team should take it upon themselves to be like, look, if you fire me, that's cool. But I'm going to teach you the right way, and if you don't teach me, I don't really want to be connected or associated with you because you're not doing what I'm training you to do. You know, he needs another strength and conditioning coach, obviously. He needs to shred down that weight that he gained. What was it, about 10 pounds? You know, Deontay Wilder comes in at about 219 normally. He came in at like 231, 232, something like that. I know he's coming close to the mid-30s and all, but that doesn't mean you should gain that amount of excessive weight, especially going up against the best boxer you've ever been in the ring with. Now that's point blank and period. And I mean one that's young, not one that's 50, like people claim Luis Ortiz is. I mean one your age, or no, matter of fact, younger than you. 4 years younger than you to be exact. That's not an Uber driver. That's not a plumber part-time. That guy that gave you problems that you couldn't hit in the first fight. Now you would think you would work on your endurance and your stamina, because you should be anticipating chasing Fury, because he was lying. He wasn't telling the truth about what he said he was going to do, but he was. But nonetheless, if you thought his game plan was going to be running around, jabbing, flicking that jab out there, oh, you're getting close, let me dip under, hold him, the referee breaks you up, he does the same thing, repeats the process. If you thought that was the case, you have to have the stamina to chase this guy. You have to stop this guy from fighting the way he is. You have to adapt to a guy that's moving. So that's no excuse, though, to not have stamina past round 3. What are you, an amateur? That's like he fought like a Cuban fighter, like a Cuban amateur, because they're only conditioned to go 3 rounds. And after 3 rounds, and we don't even really know if it was 3 rounds, because let's face it, he got beat. He got dropped in the 3rd round. Okay. It wasn't a complete 3rd round, so we can't even say that. He did not have the stamina to even deal with the punches. I know the adrenaline was there, the heart was there. I can't take that away from him. But when he got beat, there was no skill, there was no technique, because it was like they didn't learn anything else. They didn't learn, okay, uppercut in the inside when Fury comes in and tries to lean in. Let me give him an uppercut. None of that. They didn't train. It's like they only trained for 1 to 2 things when it came to attack, when it came to offense. Okay, and they didn't even have it, the punches. Okay, think about the punches that he had. He didn't have any. And then they were so poorly thrown. This guy slaps the punch. So, and the narrative was Fury's supposed to, oh, he hit him with an open hand, or he's not supposed to do that. Well, Deontay Wilder does that shit all the time. But it just shows you, he couldn't even turn the hook over. He slaps behind the head with the hook. You know, that comes from technique, that comes from training, or lack of, let's say. That doesn't come from a fighter that supposed to know what to do in certain situations. Okay, Tyson Fury is now on the inside. He's bringing the fight to me. You know what I mean? What in my arsenal can I use to counter with this guy? You know, there was no catch and shoot. There was no inside fighting. There was no anything. It was some desperate, like I said, slaps from Deontay Wilder, and not many of them, because Tyson Fury was getting off, smothering him, laying his body on him, making him ever so weaker because he wasn't conditioned for the fight in the first place. That's why he's number one on the redemption list. Now, can he get off that list? Yes, he can. But given the fact that the excuse that he created, he's in denial. He's delusional. He won't admit, this guy beat my ass. So if you won't admit that, how do we ever know that you will know something, or to change something for the next fight? Okay? We have I'm do another video on another possible trainer, but that's a whole nother video. Maybe, but that's a rumor. But as of right now, Deontay Wilder is the number one on the list for the things that I just mentioned. You guys tell me what you think about Deontay Wilder being added number one on the redemption list. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.